It's a $1.6 billion plant, but there isn't going to be a $1.6 billion plant built in the United States to take its place. We're just going to see some expansion at an already existing plant. What does this mean for the future of Ford's business, David?
Well, you're right. They're just going to be shifting the production from one location in Mexico to another. What we can't really see at the moment is, will the plant down there be enough to build all the vehicles they need, whether it's compact SUVs, cars, or will they have to add some production up here? What we do know, and this has been in the cards for some time, is that the plant that used to make the Focus in Wayne, Michigan, that was losing the Focus to Mexican production, is going to be making something different. They're going to make the Ford Bronco SUV and the Ford Ranger pickup truck. And both of those vehicles have been gone for some time. Ford has been planning to bring them back. They just hadn't announced it yet. So that stuff's going to be built in Michigan. There will be investment there. But we don't really see anything new yet in terms of jobs for the U.S. that the company had not already planned. And there's really nothing in terms of production that's being canceled in Mexico. But there is a big investment, and what that means in terms of losing potential Mexican jobs or planned Mexican jobs, they haven't really spelled out yet.
Yeah, and I mean, they're basically crediting Donald Trump's pro-business policies. What do you think is the strategy here? Is Ford trying to appease the president-elect in order to win some more tax breaks? Was Ford strong-handed? I mean, it's difficult to know, right?
Well, no, we've got some insight into this. So what Ford wants and what the auto industry wants is they want some relaxation on fuel economy and greenhouse gas standards. And they've already sort of been whispering about this to Trump's people. They've lobbied for it for years with whichever administration was in office. And that's what they really want. So Trump is talking pro-business. He's talked about the EPA being excessive and perhaps even going away. I'm not sure we'll see that, but we could see a relaxation of fuel economy standards, which allow the automakers to sell more trucks, more SUVs, which are far more profitable than cars. And by the way, that's what American consumers are buying with gasoline being so cheap at the moment. So if they relax that, you may see the payoff for Trump might be more investment in the U.S. and more job creation from Ford and other automakers.
David, Donald Trump has made an assertion about General Motors' fading compact car in Mexico, and he's received quite a terse response from the company. Just tell us what he said and how GM's reacted.
So what Trump basically did was he tweeted out that GM should be building this version of the Chevy Cruze compact, not in Mexico at San Luis Potosi, but in Ohio, where they make the sedan version of the Cruze. Now, GM sells very few of the hatchback version of this compact car in the United States. It was 4,500 last year in about half a year of sales. They sell close to 200,000 of the Cruze. Americans don't really buy hatchbacks in big numbers these days because that's a fuel-efficient car, and Americans like bigger vehicles, and Americans have never liked hatchbacks. So he sort of picked on the wrong vehicle. There are other vehicles GM makes in Mexico that are much more significant. But GM basically pointed out just that. Hey, we make a lot of compact cars in the U.S. We make the sedan. They are all made in Lordstown, Ohio. And what we make in Mexico is pretty insignificant. The hatchback is basically an export vehicle to other markets besides the U.S. They sell them in South America and other places where small cars are much more desirable and where affordable cars are really important. So it's really a kind of Mexico, non-U.S. export vehicle for them. But he wanted to bring it back, and GM basically said, hey, this really isn't that significant for us.
Yeah, and David, as you say, he probably picked on the wrong vehicle, but does the auto industry there, do they feel that they're under the cosh right now? Do they sense the president-elect is unduly picking on them?
I don't know if they feel unduly picked on, because there's been pressure on Boeing, there's been pressure on Lockheed, there's been pressure on Carrier, which is the division of United Technologies Corporation. But you have to think that all automakers, not just U.S. automakers, are feeling pressure from this, because there's $24 billion in investment that's in some stage of going into Mexico or planned for Mexico. And it's not just Ford and GM, it's Volkswagen, and it's Audi division, it's Daimler, it's BMW, it's Nissan. There's a lot of investment from a lot of car makers being put in place down there, and they all have to be kind of scratching their heads now. Okay, is there going to be a tariff? Will NAFTA be renegotiated? What's going to happen when they're putting all this money into the country?